Hey Tubsters, so I'm really inspired today to make a lot of videos. Quick reminder, tomorrow there will be a Monday Minute of Magic, and I think I do have some videos pre-recorded to upload on Wednesday, and we're going to try and get back to doing that live stream on Friday. I think I'm going to do it on YouTube and take a little break from Twitch right now. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the live stream, but I know I want to do one, because y'all know that, well, maybe you don't, I've decided to not use that grimoire as my Greylock personal grimoire. I actually just this morning came up with the idea. What's going on in my hair? I just came up with the idea of actually having it be where I dedicate it to witches that had an impact on my life. And that's going to be, of course, the real witches that, you know, use that as their identifier. And then it's also going to include some of the, like, I guess, pop culture witches. So people like Cassandra Nightingale from The Good Witch, and Vincent, I can't remember his last name, but from the originals, Bonnie Bennett, the Charmed Ones, and people like that. That's what I've decided I'm going to use that for. And it's going to have some YouTube witches on there too, and I don't know right now if I'm going to share that one or not. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. But right now I'm actually in the works of getting a new grimoire and gonna get some other supplies to make it. And then when I have that, I'll start the grimoire entries again. But right now, I want to talk about dirt magic. I've done this video before on my last channel, but it was not nearly this many, because I've learned some more just recently, and I've also picked up some more in my practice. And so I want to tell you first some of the ways that you can use dirt magic. One of the main ways that I use it is for feeding. You can use it to feed a spell. It's also great for borders, so you can cast your circles with it, especially if you want to do like an element of earth-based type of spell work. You can put it in your bottles, which I've done that a few times as well. I've also used it in place of herbs to rub on candles or to roll the candle into the dirt. And another thing you can do is put it in shoes, depending on what type of what intention you're using it for, first of all, and what type of dirt you're using. You can actually put it in your shoes or put it in your car, sprinkle it on the floor of your car, or even put it in like a witch's purse and hang it from the car, or put it in a bottle and hang it from the car. You can also put it in backpacks if you have children, or if you're going to, if you're going to school yourself or going to work, you can sprinkle some of it in there, especially if you're using like an education place like school, college, university. You can sprinkle some of the dirt in there to help them with their studies or whatever. Or maybe if they're feeling bullied, you can sprinkle the homestead dirt. And that way they'll feel protected and loved and supported. So that's some of the ways that you can use dirt in your magical practice. And now I'm going to go over to the different types of dirt and the correspondences that I've either learned and agree with or have attributed myself. So the first one is homestead dirt. This and that would be used for loving protection, safe return, relaxation. And so basically it's like if you're like going away to school or something, or to work, you can carry that around in some format and it'll help you return safely back home. Then you can, there's also bank dirt. Now this one I've used a lot, and I definitely suggest that you use personal bank dirt. Oh, I forgot to add one. I knew I was forgetting one before I did this video, but I couldn't remember what it was. And that's, what do I want to call it? It's like dirt, I guess. And this would obviously be great for legal matters. And of course, you don't have to only use the dirt. You can use it as a foundation piece and add herbs or other ingredients to it. Yeah, so, yeah, there we go. We just got one done. Court dirt is great for legal matters. I might be able to come up with some more later, but... so bank dirt, that's where we left off. So this is really good for obviously money and prosperity, but it's also good for investments, and that can be any investments. Obviously it's going to be more monetary based, but like if you're trying to maybe invest, oh, I forgot to write one. It's also good for getting loans paid. Or loans in general, so like getting loans if you're wanting to get a loan, and to help pay off a loan. Get and pay off. It's also good for savings. So basically, like a lot of the things that the bank is used for, it's really good for doing that. And the reason why you would want to use bank dirt for a business is because it is a business in and of itself, and it is revolved around money, so it's going to help you have the money to sustain yourself in your business. The next one I want to talk about is casino dirt. Now, I have not personally used this. This is one I've learned, and this is good for good fortune. So if you're wanting to kind of get kind of some luck, if you will. I don't really believe in luck. I believe in good fortune. I kind of think they're a little different. Luck just seems a little wishy-washy for me, whereas good fortune is, to me, good fortune is like when things are going in your favor. And I know that's technically what luck is supposed to be, but I think it gets overused and it's kind of gotten glossed over, so I don't personally like to use it. But I also think that casino dirt in particular, especially if you mix it with bank dirt, is great for entrepreneurship. A lot of casinos are run by, they're kind of, I don't want to say private companies, but there's a lot of people that kind of like own a casino. It's not necessarily a corporate type of thing. I'm not saying it can't be. And then there's also swindling. So that can kind of go both ways. It can be if you want to kind of swindle someone out of money, manipulate them out of money. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing. Maybe they owe you money and you want to make them pay it back. Or maybe you too just want to get some money out of someone. Maybe I wouldn't agree with this or do it, but it is something that's capable of being done. You know, maybe you have an ex that cheated on you, and so you want to swindle out his savings because you want him to be left with nothing, because that's, you just want vengeance, I guess. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but it is something that can be done. Railroad/racetrack dirt. Now, racetrack dirt is a new one that I've learned, but I see it very similar to railroad dirt. I actually kind of think that they could be substitutionable. I'll just say that's a word. Basically what I use these for, the railroad dirt and or racetrack dirt would be one of my main dirts that I use as a feeder, as like an all-purpose feeder. And that's because it's great for speed and forward movement. It's also great for travel and for banishing. Because of that forward movement, it's good at... Oh, wait, did I put that? Some of my notes are a little messy, so... Hold on, let me make sure that's right. Yeah, I think that's actually supposed to be releasing. Let me just check this real quick. Yeah, oops, because I actually see banishing and releasing as two different things. Yeah, because banishing, when I do banishments, it's more of like a banish to the void, so it's like, so to me, releasing is like, it sends it away, but it's still possible to retrieve it if you wish. It's also still in the world where it's possible to affect someone else if it's bad enough. Whereas banishment, I do like my way of doing it is like banishing to the void, and that's not, yeah. This is supposed to be releasing. My bad. Releasing. Yeah. So that's railroad racetrack dirt, and yeah, crossroad dirt is supposed to be the banishing. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Okay, so the next one is also one that I recently learned, and I kind of see they're similar, so I've grouped them together. But I do see or feel rather that one is has a stronger vibration than the other, I guess is the best way, and that's mountain and or hillside dirt. So mountain dirt, I believe, is the more has a stronger force, a stronger chi presence to it, and I would use that for strength and standing your ground. As for the hillside dirt, that one obviously by default is the more gentle vibration, and this one I kind of see as more of an endurance type of thing. So whereas strength is a little more forceful, and when I'm talking about strength, I'm talking about like more or less a strength of will, where endurance is like taking a hit and moving forward, being able to endure through the hardships. And so it's like similar but a little different. Hopefully I explained that well enough. Crossroad Dirt. Crossroad Dirt is, excuse me, that's what I meant to say. This one I use for opportunities, confusion, and distractions. Also dispersing. So it's like a banishing, but also and or dispersing of chi, or breaking maleficium, so like jinxes, hexes, curses. I don't really know what a jinx is, but I've heard people use it in the sense of like hexes and curses, so I'm assuming it's relatively similar. I don't know if that's like a hoodoo voodoo thing. Yeah, because I'm not familiar with that word. Like, I've heard of it, but I'm just not too familiar with it. Anyway, the next one is another one of those kind of like mountain and hillside. It's hospital and doctor's dirt. This one, the hospital dirt I would use for more serious ailments and injuries, especially something like surgeries. And doctor's dirt I would use for obviously the non-serious ailments or injuries, and basically, oh, excuse me, for like general health. And the next one is graveyard dirt. This one is pretty much for necromancy, soul summoning, ancestral work, and basically death magic in and of itself, and basically putting to end to things. So it's like bad habits, toxic relationships, toxic environments, like maybe your work environment, things like that. So the next one is, it kind of stems from burial ground, excuse me, it stems from graveyard dirt, and it's burial ground dirt, and this is more of a Native American type of graveyard cemetery dirt type of deal. And so basically I would use this strictly for Native American soul summoning or like soul spirit work type of deal. And that would obviously depend upon what tribe it's coming from. So like the kind that I have is it's Cherokee. So the next one is school or college or university dirt, and the reason why I kind of addressed all of them is because, well, basically it's used for aiding, studying, learning, and retaining knowledge and strengthening the memory. And obviously, like, depending on what education level you're at, depends on what type of dirt you would use, or depending on the person that you're casting on, would depend on the type of dirt that you should use. So if you feel that you're struggling maybe with studying at home, or you feel like when you go home you don't retain what you learned in class, maybe take some of that dirt with you, so that way you're basically having school with you, and it will help bring that vibrations together to hopefully trigger your mind and remember what it is that you learned that day. Obviously, you should probably take some good notes too. So the next one that I want to talk about is fireman's dirt. And this one and the next one are ones that I've mentioned before on my last channel when I talked about dirt magic. So fireman's dirt I pretty much would use it for fire safety, especially for old homes. If you're having like electrical problems or something, I would not mix it with any fire herbs, obviously. I would also not mix it with water herbs, because water is a conductor for electricity. And if you're doing it for like the old home sense, where it's like having electrical problems, you don't want that type of vibration there. I also wouldn't really use air herbs, because I wouldn't see the purpose of it. The reason why you would use the fireman's dirt and maybe any other earth element components to it is to keep it grounded and stable and calm. We don't want to spark, no pun intended, we don't want to spark up, you know, that electrical current and in the risk of it causing a fire in the whole home. Now, this using it that way would probably be no, not probably. It's a temporary fix. You would really want to also include maybe using dirts like the bank dirt, or mixing homestead dirt with fireman's dirt and homestead dirt with the bank dirt to help you get the finances to get that problem taken care of. You could even mix the homestead bank dirt and crossroads dirt to help facilitate financial opportunities towards fixing the house. So the next one I want to talk about is policeman's dirt. This is good for anti-theft and protection from violence. So if you're living in like the ghetto or the projects, and there's lots of gun activity, or maybe dog fights or bullying, or, well, maybe not so much bullying, but maybe threats or abuse or something like that, then you would probably want to use the policeman's dirt. Depending on what you're using it for, you'd probably also want to use the court dirt, especially if there's like abuse going on, and or you are in like a marriage or something and there's abuse going on. You're going to want to try and get a divorce for your own safety, of course, or getting restraining orders. You'd want to probably mix those dirts together, or at least work with them. Now, policeman's dirt, I feel, has a gentle vibration in comparison to this next one I'm going to say, which is military-based dirt. And this is great for anti-terrorism and advanced protection. So, like, when you really need some, like, hefty-duty protection. And then, yeah, then we have the court dirt. So that's pretty much my dirt magic video. If y'all want, I can do a sand magic video. This, I'll admit, is all learned stuff. I have not actually implemented this. I actually got this from a fellow YouTuber, and some of this dirt magic information came from a fellow YouTuber as well. And I can't remember her name. It's like She Who Walks the Woods, or Who Walks Between the Worlds, I think, or it's something along those lines. I'm gonna link her channel below. I'm gonna link the video that I got this from. It was from her grimoire. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm actually going to make my grimoire probably the same way that she at least talked about it in that video. Once I get my stuff, and I'm really excited. I don't know why I didn't get it in the first place, but anyway, that's another topic. So check out that video, show her some love. She's really cool. I wish I remembered her name exactly, but I remember her. I think she's made a comment on one of my videos before. And she has really awesome information. Like I said, some of it I is my own information. Some of it I've tweaked for own intuitive reasons, and some of it came from her. So check out that video. You'll get a lot more information than just this. And like I said, if you want me to share the Sand Magic video, I mean information, I will. I think there might be some that I added, but a lot of it is, or maybe reworded, but a lot of it does come from her, so if you can read it in her video, then you might not be too interested, but just comment below if you are. I'm really hoping on doing more of these, like, correspondency type of videos. I am going to do a more in-depth video about the elements that I work with, and going and breaking it down from the basic 2 elements that I'll work with all the way up to the 10 elements that I'll work with. And so I don't know how soon that video is going to come out, but it is something I'm going to be doing soon, so excuse me. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this space and time with me, and as always, I love you very much, and I wish you abundant and eternal blessings.